Our journey begins in the heart of England, in the ancient city of Salisbury. The history of Salisbury Cathedral dates back to the early 13th century. The construction began in 1220, commenced under the direction of Bishop Richard Poore. The main body of the cathedral, including the nave, transepts and choir, was consecrated in 1258. One of the most significant later additions to the cathedral was its towering spire, which was constructed between 1320 and 1330. At 404 feet or 123 metres, the spire remains the tallest in Britain and a defining feature of Salisbury's skyline. The exterior of Salisbury Cathedral is a masterpiece of early English Gothic style. Its symmetry and harmony are striking, with pointed arches, ribbed vaults and flying buttresses that not only add beauty, but also structural stability. The west front is adorned with over 130 medieval statues depicting saints, apostles and angels, each intricately carved. Upon entering the cathedral, visitors are greeted by a vast, light-filled nave supported by slender columns and pointed arches. The purity of the design and the natural light streaming through the clerestory windows create a serene ambience. One of the cathedral's most remarkable features is its chapter house, home to one of the best-preserved original copies of the Magna Carta, a foundational document of English law and governance signed in 1215. Today, Salisbury Cathedral stands as a masterpiece of Gothic architecture and a beacon of historical and spiritual significance. Situated in the historic city of León, the León Cathedral, officially known as the Cathedral of Santa Maria de Regla, is one of Spain's most celebrated Gothic masterpieces. The origins of the cathedral can be traced back to the 10th century when the site housed Roman baths, later converted into a royal palace. The current Gothic cathedral, however, began to take shape in the 13th century, modelled after the great cathedrals of France, particularly Reims and Chartres. Construction began in 1205 and extended over several centuries, with significant contributions from various architects and craftsmen. Despite delays and structural challenges, the cathedral was completed by the early 16th century. The exterior of León Cathedral is a visual symphony of Gothic elements. Its twin towers rise majestically above the city, with the southern tower slightly taller than its northern counterpart. The west facade is particularly striking, with its grand rose window and 3 elaborately decorated portals. The central portal, known as the Portal of the Virgin, showcases delicate sculptures of the Virgin Mary and scenes from her life. The interior is both serene and breathtakingly beautiful. The cathedral's vast nave is flanked by towering columns and pointed arches, creating a sense of grandeur and upward movement. One of the cathedral's most celebrated features is its collection of stained glass windows, considered among the finest in Europe. Dating from the 13th to the 15th centuries, these windows cover an impressive area of over 19,375 square feet or 1,800 square meters. The high altar is a masterpiece of Renaissance art, adorned with gilded details and intricate carvings. As part of the Camino de Santiago, León Cathedral is a significant stop for pilgrims travelling to the shrine of St. James in Santiago de Compostela. The Washington National Cathedral stands as a striking testament to architectural grandeur, spiritual significance and national unity. The idea for the cathedral was first proposed in 1792, during President George Washington's tenure, as part of Pierre l'Enfant's original plans for the nation's capital. However, it wasn't until 1907 that construction began, with President Theodore Roosevelt presiding over the ceremonial laying of the cornerstone. The cathedral was constructed in the Gothic Revival style, inspired by medieval European cathedrals, and took 83 years to complete. Its facade features intricate carvings, flying buttresses, and tall spires that reach toward the heavens. The central tower, the Gloria in Excelsis Tower, is the tallest point in Washington, D.C., rising 301 feet or 92 meters above ground. Gargoyles and grotesques adorn the exterior, some with whimsical designs, such as the famous Darth Vader gargoyle, added after a children's competition in the 1980s. The west facade boasts a large rose window, a hallmark of Gothic architecture which floods the interior with colourful light. Stepping inside, the soaring vaulted ceilings, pointed arches and intricate stained glass windows create a sense of awe. Among the 231 stained glass windows, the space window stands out, containing a small moon rock brought back by the Apollo 11 mission. The nave is vast and majestic, stretching 91 feet or 28 meters high, with rows of carved wooden pews and graceful stone columns. The Washington National Cathedral is the sixth largest cathedral in the world and the second largest in the United States. The Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, located in Sofia, Bulgaria, is one of the largest and most iconic Orthodox cathedrals in the world. The construction of the cathedral was initiated to commemorate the Russian and Bulgarian soldiers who lost their lives during the Russo-Turkish War, a conflict that led to Bulgaria's liberation from Ottoman rule. The foundation stone was laid in 1882, but actual construction began in 1904. The cathedral was completed in 1912. The cathedral showcases the Neo-Byzantine architectural style, a hallmark of Orthodox Christian church design in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The cathedral is capped by a series of gilded and green domes, with the largest central dome standing at 148 feet or 45 meters high, and adorned with gold. The bell tower rises to a height of 174 feet or 53 meters and houses 12 bells, the heaviest of which weighs over 12 tons. The facade is a stunning blend of white and yellow limestone, decorated with intricate mosaics and carvings. Inside, the walls are adorned with vivid frescoes and icons painted by Bulgarian, Russian and European artists. A stunning iconostasis separates the sanctuary from the nave. Crafted from marble, onyx and alabaster, it features exquisite religious icons and detailed carvings. Alexander Nevsky Cathedral is more than just a place of worship. It is a monument to Bulgaria's history, culture and spiritual devotion. The Cathedral of Our Lady, located in the vibrant city of Antwerp, Belgium, is a stunning example of Gothic architecture and a significant landmark in the country's history and culture. It has a history that spans more than 7 centuries, making it one of the most iconic religious structures in Europe. Work on the cathedral began in 1352 and continued for nearly 170 years. The exterior is a masterpiece of Gothic design, showcasing intricate details and towering heights. The cathedral's most prominent feature is its 404 feet or 123 meters tall spire, which dominates Antwerp's skyline. It is the tallest church tower in the Benelux region. This spire, completed in 1518, features elaborate carvings and an openwork design that enhances its visual impact. The facade features a series of pointed arches, flying buttresses, and intricately carved statues of biblical figures and saints. The craftsmanship on the portal and rose windows is particularly remarkable. Inside, the soaring ribbed vaults, supported by slender columns, create a sense of verticality and lightness, emphasizing the Gothic ideal of reaching toward the heavens. The stained glass windows depict biblical scenes and saints, flooding the interior with vibrant colours and ethereal light. The impressive pipe organ, crafted in the 19th century, adds to the spiritual ambience of the space. Napoleon Bonaparte admired the cathedral and declared it a national treasure, sparing it from destruction during French rule. The Cathedral of Santa Maria Assunta, commonly known as the Pisa Cathedral, is a stunning example of medieval Romanesque architecture located in the famous Piazza dei Miracoli in Pisa, Italy. The cathedral was founded in 1064 by architect Buscetto, who sought to combine classical, Byzantine and Islamic influences into a unique Romanesque style. The initial construction was completed by 1118, with further additions continuing into the 13th century. The facade features alternating bands of white and grey marble with touches of colourful marble and stone. The symmetrical design is enhanced by rows of blind arches, columns and finely carved reliefs. The cathedral's elliptical dome is an architectural innovation for its time, emphasising the blending of styles that defines the building. The nearby Leaning Tower of Pisa serves as the cathedral's bell tower, further enhancing its fame. The cathedral's interior consists of a wide nave and 4 aisles, separated by Corinthian columns made of granite and marble. The ceiling is adorned with intricate gold detailing and features the Medici coat of arms. One of the most significant features is the marble pulpit by Giovanni Pisano, crafted between 1302 and 1310. This masterpiece depicts scenes from the New Testament in exquisite detail, showcasing Pisano's talent for dynamic, expressive sculpture. While the Leaning Tower often overshadows the cathedral in fame, the two structures are intrinsically linked as parts of the Piazza dei Miracoli complex. The Mexico City Metropolitan Cathedral is one of the most iconic landmarks in Latin America. It is not only the largest in the Americas, but also a symbol of Mexico's rich history, blending indigenous, colonial and modern influences. Construction of the cathedral began in 1573 on the site of the former Aztec Templo Mayor, which was demolished following the Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire. The cathedral was built to assert Spanish dominance and introduce Christianity to the New World. It took nearly 250 years to complete, with the final touches added in 1813. Due to the long construction period, the cathedral reflects a variety of architectural styles, including Renaissance, Baroque and Neoclassical. It is flanked by 2 majestic bell towers, each standing 220 feet or 67 meters tall. These towers house 25 bells, some of which are among the largest in the world. The facade features elaborate carvings of saints, angels and religious symbols, showcasing the Baroque style. The cathedral houses 16 chapels, each dedicated to a different saint or religious figure. Many of these chapels feature ornate altarpieces, gilded woodwork and intricate sculptures. The main altar, known as the Altar de los Reyes, or Altar of the Kings, is a dazzling Baroque masterpiece designed by Geronimo de Balbas. It is covered in gold leaf and features statues of saints and kings. The cathedral boasts 2 massive pipe organs built in the 18th century. These organs are masterpieces of craftsmanship and continue to be used for special ceremonies and concerts. The cathedral, like much of Mexico City, was built on the soft, unstable soil of a former lakebed. Over the centuries, it has slowly sunk into the ground. Extensive restoration and stabilization efforts, particularly in the late 20th century, have saved it from collapse. The Cathédrale Saint-Étienne de Bourges, commonly known as Bourges Cathedral, is a masterpiece of Gothic architecture and one of France's most historically significant churches. The history of the cathedral is closely tied to the rise of the Gothic architectural movement and the city's importance as a religious and cultural hub in medieval France. The construction of the current Gothic structure began in 1195 and was largely completed by 1230, though decorative and structural work continued into the 14th century. The west facade is characterized by its 5 intricately decorated portals, each adorned with detailed sculptures depicting biblical scenes, including the Last Judgment. The cathedral's 2 towers rise majestically, though they are asymmetrical due to the incomplete construction of the south tower. The innovative use of flying buttresses allowed for the construction of high walls and large stained glass windows, creating a light-filled interior. The cathedral features a vast nave flanked by double aisles, creating an expansive and airy space. It is renowned for its collection of stained glass windows dating from the 12th to the 14th centuries. These windows depict biblical stories, saints, and scenes of daily medieval life, showcasing the artistry and storytelling of the time. A 15th century astronomical clock, located within the cathedral, is an engineering marvel that once helped regulate religious ceremonies and town life. Bourges Cathedral served as a model for later Gothic cathedrals, influencing designs across Europe. York Minster is one of the most magnificent Gothic cathedrals in the world. Located in York, England, it is a masterpiece of medieval craftsmanship and serves as a spiritual and historical centre for the region. The history of York Minster spans centuries, with its origins rooted in the early days of Christianity in Britain. The construction of the present cathedral began in 1220 and took over 250 years to complete, with the final touches added in 1472. It was designed to rival the great cathedrals of Europe, blending early English, decorated and perpendicular Gothic styles. The western facade is adorned with intricate carvings, statues and pointed arches, showcasing the finest craftsmanship of the Gothic era. The large Great West Window, known as the Heart of Yorkshire, is a striking feature with its unique tracery. York Minster's central tower stands at 235 feet or 72 metres, making it the tallest structure in York. The twin bell towers on the west end house the Minster's famous bells. Inside, the nave's vaulted ceiling, with its ribbed design, creates an awe-inspiring sense of height and light. The nave is lined with slender columns and intricately carved capitals. The Great East Window, completed in 1408, is the largest expanse of medieval stained glass in the world. Designed by John Thornton, it depicts biblical scenes from Genesis to Revelation. The octagonal chapter house is a highlight of the interior, featuring a vaulted ceiling and an array of stained glass windows. Its richly carved stone seats and tracery make it a marvel of medieval design. Beneath the minster lies an extensive undercroft, where visitors can explore the remains of Roman, Viking and Norman structures. Located on the picturesque island of Mallorca, overlooking the Mediterranean Sea, La Seu, the Cathedral of Santa Maria of Palma, is one of Spain's most iconic and breathtaking Gothic cathedrals. Construction of the cathedral began in 1229, shortly after King James I of Aragon conquered Mallorca from the Moors. Legend has it that during a fierce storm on his voyage to the island, the king vowed to build a magnificent church in honour of the Virgin Mary if he survived. Like many medieval cathedrals, La Seu took several centuries to complete. The main construction was finished in 1601, although renovations and additions continued well into the 20th century. The cathedral is 397 feet or 121 metres long, 180 feet or 55 metres wide, and 144 feet or 44 metres tall, making it one of Europe's tallest Gothic structures. The cathedral's intricate flying buttresses and pinnacles are classic features of Gothic architecture, supporting the tall structure while adding decorative beauty. The main entrance features ornate carvings and sculptures that depict biblical scenes and saints. The Great Rose Window, located above the main entrance, is one of the largest in the world, with a diameter of nearly 43 feet or 13 metres. Known as the Eye of the Gothic, it features vibrant stained glass that casts dazzling colours onto the interior walls. Inside, the soaring vaulted ceilings are supported by slender columns, creating a sense of height and grandeur. The design emphasises verticality, drawing the eye heavenward. The cathedral's 61 stained glass windows, including the Great Rose Window, bathe the interior in kaleidoscopic light. In the early 20th century, Antoni Gaudí, the famed architect of Barcelona's Sagrada Familia, was invited to oversee renovations. Although his plans were not fully realized, his influence remains evident in elements like the interior lighting and altar designs.